Okay. Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I took a couple days off. I enjoyed the weekend with my kids. As always, I'm always with my kids. I love them. I adore them. Now, today we're going to get into a couple things. Now, there's so much going on with all this YouTube. It's really kind of ridiculous, who thinks this one is made, this one's a hitman, this one's a mad dog killer. Listen, all these guys, all they're doing is changing history and anteing up themselves. They're making believe that they were this, they were that. They're all full of shit. It has to be said, if I'm the one to speak the truth, I'm going to speak the truth. Now, I want to get into Larry Meza first, okay? I really don't want to talk bad, but we have to straighten some stuff out. Now, Larry Meza grew up on the other side of my neighborhood. I'm from Bath Avenue. My whole family's from Gravesend on that side. And I never heard of Larry Meza ever before in my lifetime until I got arrested. I heard of every wise guy there is in my neighborhood. And if you weren't a wise guy, if you were an associate and you were doing things, whether you were beating people up, whether you were cracking someone's head open, whether you were a mad dog killer, and you didn't have to be made and be in the mob, I knew them all. Every single one of them, okay? I never knew Larry Meza, ever. I heard of the Wimpy Boys. I could say their names after they got pinched. Larry Meza was not a part of the Wimpy Boys. Gregory Scarpa, the old man, heard of him. Heard of his son, Greg Jr. Heard of Billy Millie, Carmine Sessa, and all these guys in the Colombo crew. I remember them all. Wild Bill, I knew them all. Sally Fusco, all of them. From Captain to Wise Guy, I can name them all. Joe Knott, I can name them all. Okay, they're all from my area, all from my neighborhood. My neighborhood was a recruitment center for the five families, and it still is. It's not that strong as it used to be, but New York City is deep. So, as I was growing up, I had a lot of battles. I fought a lot of kids. I took some beatings, and I gave some beatings. I was never one to ante myself up. If I lost, I was defeated. I'm saying later on with that person, that kid I had a fist fight with, I became friends with. If not, we fought again. And we just keep on fighting every time we see each other. That's the way I grew up. As soon as I left my house, I get Charlie horsed. I get slapped. That's how it was back in the day. These older guys, whether they were 5 to 10 years older, always abused the younger guys. That's how we became the Bath Avenue crew. We got tired of getting slapped and beaten up, and we saw these other guys that we wanted to be with, so we formed our own crew. But growing up as a kid, even if my friends were having a beef, I would grab a garbage can, I would grab a baseball bat, and I would jump in and I would hit the other kid, because that's how we grew up. If you fought one of us, you fought all of us. Now, getting into Larry Meza, I never heard of this guy ever having a fight on the street. I wish other people would come forward in the Colombo family and speak something about this guy, because this guy was never made. He wants to make believe that he did this, he did that. He never did nothing. He was a gopher for Gregory Scarpa. Actually, Gregory Scarpa probably banged him in his ass, because, I heard Larry's a swinger, actually, in Florida. They all swing. And, this kid wants to talk about me and bring up my name, or this guy. You know, they got to focus on him, because he's about to tell a lot of fairy tale stories and a lot of lies. They want to change history. That he was about this, he was about that. Larry Mezza was about nothing. Now, I'm done with Larry Mezza. That's my first subject. He's done. Okay, kickboxer, this, that, full of shit. These are all full of fucking shit. Stay in Florida. Go fucking swing over there with all the swingers. You're all fucking each other's wives and fucking each other. That's what you're doing. Now, I also want to get into Johnny A-Light. You know, when you go to jail, anything you are follows you. The same thing in the street. Anything you are follows you. Whatever you are, people are going to talk about you. If you're a tough guy, that guy's a tough guy. If you're a coward, that guy's a coward. If you're a rat, that guy's a rat. Now, everything always followed me. You see how I cooperated later on in life? I was 30 years old and I cooperated. It followed me. Till this day, it always followed me. Okay? But I could tell you this, okay? I've been around wise guys all my life, okay? They groomed me. They taught me the streets, and they taught me how to respect people and be tough when I have to be tough. A guy like Johnny A-Light, he can't fight none of his own battles. He's another guy that wants to ante himself up. He was a Mad Hatter. He's a hitman. He was nothing. He was no hitman. He wasn't around Senior. He was John Gotti Jr.'s friend. Shame on John Gotti Jr. Shame on me. I met A-Light, I think 95, 96. I spent maybe 8 months with him. The guy was a punk. He was a coward. That's what he was. Okay? He came to the compound. He was a fucking nobody. He makes believe he beat up this one, he beat up that one. He beat up nobody. You're a fucking nobody. You might have shot somebody. You did nothing. You're a fucking nobody. And I'm going to be on top of you like fucking like a fly on fucking shit. I can't stand you, you little fucking punk coward. This way you know, okay? Now, with that said, I also want to say that this kid mentioned Chris Paciello. He got his friend Mike Jacobs involved with his wife, that I send a text message to Mike Jacobs' wife. Well, you know what? I got a text message from Mike Jacobs' wife. You got to see that text message, what she said. How she said Mike Jacobs is fucking terrible in bed, and she wanted to get on top of me. So, believe me, your fucking wives, you're making everybody bang them. You got to stop. You guys in Florida, you're all a bunch of fucking swingers fucking each other. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, you got a goofball on here, on YouTube. He's a fucking goofball. He's not even Italian. I never even read anything he wrote. He might be good. I could give him that. He might be a good writer. But you know what? What I'm going to do is, I'm going to order all your records from Detroit. And I'm going to review them, because I want to know what you were about. You want to tell everybody you were about this, you were about that. I want to know what you were about. I got people in Detroit telling me that you were a drug addict, that used to rob banks to feed a habit. I used to rob banks to buy fancy cars, to buy nice clothes, to go to nice restaurants. I used to throw parties for myself when I was a kid. I tell you the truth. I was a little punk, a little hoodlum, little Doug. And that's how the guys knew me. So I'm going to order a record, because I want to know what you're about. Because you say you're so much about, you were in organized crime, you were shaking down drug dealers. I wish you would have shaken down me when I was a kid. I wish you would have been my neighbor back in the day. Seriously. You probably would have been on my indictment as a fucking victim. Seriously, I got to speak the truth over here. Because you guys, yous are a bunch of fucking clowns with no makeup. 100%. Now, the other thing is I want to get into Lee Cole. You know, this guy, I actually liked him in the beginning because, you know, his second video, he did say, you know, I read up about Jimmy, and Jimmy, you know, he's nothing compared to these other guys. And I'm nothing compared to these other guys. I grew up all my life by wise guys telling me never tattletale on nobody. I did 6 years in prison, came home, 11 months later, I'm back in jail. 30 years old, I had a flip. But I have to say this, I never testified against any of my friends. But these are the stories you'll hear from Johnny A-Light, because Johnny A-Light likes to spin a web and tell lies. I never testified against any of my friends. I testified against Anthony Sparrow. One day I testified against him about the Vincent Bickelman murder. This way yous know. I also want to get into how if there's 4 guys, they're involved in a murder, the underworld, those 4 guys get credit for the murder. For example, I was involved in a double homicide with Tommy Reynolds, Joey Calco, and the kid William Galloway was in the car. I was the driver of the car. Tommy Reynolds gets out of the car. He kills the 2 guys, gets back into my car. I take off, done. I run a guy over, and done. Never talking about it again. But when you're involved in a homicide, it's not only the guy who pulls the trigger. Everyone has a function. You need a driver, you need a crash car, and who's ever there at that time is accused and responsible, and it's the same charge as the guy who pulled the trigger. So understand that. Now, I robbed dozens of banks, made dozens of money. Tons of money I made. As I was making money, I was giving it away. Some money to my family, some money to my friends. I always blessed people. I always blessed people who needed it, because that's the way I was. And I never thought that it would end. I always thought that, okay, once I run out of money, I'm gonna go do another score. But eventually, things catch up to you, and that's when my time ended, and I went to prison. I did 6 years, Lewisburg Penitentiary, 23 years old. I was a high, I wasn't a low, I wasn't a medium, I was a high, because I had OC on my record, organized crime, because I've been spending time with these guys all my life, from going to Frankie the Chico's house, hanging out in Anthony Sparrow's social club, Frankie the Chico social club, Georgia Chico social club, knowing all these wise guys, taking rides with them with Paulie Zach to his house and back. Kidding me? I knew them all. Okay? So as soon as they see me with them, they put OC, organized crime. That's why I went straight to Lewisburg Penitentiary. No low, no medium, straight to a max. Okay? And I didn't flip on my first fucking bid. The 6 years I took, I did it. Then from there, I went down to the state. So to you clowns out there that say, yeah, I did 13 years, I did over 13 years. I did more time than you, okay? I just made a decision to come forward on my last bid because I was looking at life in jail. A plea deal of 50 years, which, you know what? It was over for me. I was done. That's it. I don't want no more. It's over. I'm out of that life. But I'm not afraid of none of you punks. Just remember that, okay? I stand alone. I don't need no one behind me. And I do have plenty of guys behind me. But I stand alone. Because I understand and I realize that when it comes down to the nitty gritty, you're going to have nobody. You're going to be by yourself. And if you have one friend that's going to stand with you, you're lucky. But I stand alone. And I got many friends and I got lots of family. So I wanted to say that, but I didn't finish the Lee Cole thing. Lee Cole, I liked him in the beginning. Then he kept on going on and on about Sammy. Now, the thing is, look, This guy, Sammy, invited me to his home for 5 days. I stayed with him. I got to know him. He's from my neighborhood. I know his daughter, Karen. She's a gem. And they treated me very well, respectful, welcomed me with open arms. When I got there, I was actually going to stay in a hotel. He said, no, I insist. I want you to stay with me. So I got very friendly with Sammy. I became friendly with him. Like an uncle to a nephew. And I did an interview with this guy, Lee Cole, which I didn't know he was going to keep on attacking at Sammy. Now, the thing is, look, I can't defend other people. I know Sammy has this thing with the Gottis. The Gottis don't like him because he testified against John Gotti Sr. And I'm going to tell you, I understand that. I'm a grown man. I'll be 52 years old. I understand that. But I can't fight Sammy's battles. Sammy can't fight my battles. And I don't want no one fighting my battles. I'm here, I say it the way it is. But now Lee Cole is talking about this young kid from 1977 that was murdered because of Sammy. Sammy pulled the trigger. I don't know too much of the case, but I do have a friend that was an agent at one time. I even have actually a cousin that is an agent. And I asked a little information about this crime. And they told me that this kid was 16, 17 years old. At the time, 1977, he was also involved in the guy that Sammy was going after. What happened was, I think these guys jumped Sammy. I don't know the whole story to this. It was a quick conversation over the phone. I wanted to get to know a little something about it. And that Sammy threw some shots with a drive-by, something like that. And one of the bullets hit the kid, 16 years old, 17. But I can tell you this, look, in my neighborhood, 16, 17 years old, bro, you're a killer. 16, 17 years old, you're a killer. I'm not glorifying what Sammy did, but I'm just saying, this is over 40 years ago. I mean, you can't bring this up now. It's done. It's over with. It's unknown. And you want to keep on attacking Sammy, which if you have a beef with Sammy, like the Gottis, look, I got nothing to say. That's their beef. I ain't going to say nothing. But Lee Cole, I gave you an interview to give you subscribers, okay? I was very friendly with Sammy, okay? Our relationship is a little maybe on the rocks because of you came out with this thing always attacking Sammy all the time. And if you continue to do that, that's on you. But you know what? I'm not going to probably deal with you no more. And that's just who I am because I'm a straight shooter. When I'm friendly with something, I stay friendly with them, okay? So I wanted to say that. Now, I also want to say that I just watched the video of Gene Borello, okay? Obviously, Gene Borello's home. That's good. I'm happy Gene Borello's home. I would not like to see him sit in prison. I don't know Gene too good. I met Gene one time in my life. One time I met him. Gene, I met you one time. Okay? So Gene was talking for me saying, I don't see Jimmy Calandra on this YouTube too long. Well, Gene, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be on this YouTube probably as long as I breathe. When I stop breathing, that's when I'm going to quit YouTube. I'm here for good, buddy. I hope you're happy for me. I'm here for good. You're going to get your channel started. God bless. And you know what? Just like all these other guys that were nobodies, whether it was a Lee Cole, whether it's the fat, bald Sicilian, whether someone else wants to come on board, whether it's Lindblom, this one, A-Light, that one. Bro, all these guys were nobodies. They're just making believe they were nobodies. okay? I'm on an indictment with Anthony Sparrow. So I could show you. I know what I was about. I robbed tons of banks. It's documented, okay? I was involved in a couple things that I'm ashamed of. 52 years old. I'm a father of 2 little girls now. I'm ashamed of them. You know what you guys do? When you talk about this shit, you boost yourselves up. That's what you do. You have no redemption. You're not ashamed. You're happy. You killed this one. You killed that one. You all sound like fucking morons. 100%. That's what you sound like, fucking morons. Grow the fuck up. Look back on what you did. And you better regret everything you fucking did. Because, you know what? I fucked up my life. I had a tattletale on somebody to get out of a life bid. Okay? I didn't flip for 5 years. I didn't flip for 10 years. I didn't flip for 20 years. The reason I flipped was to save my life. Okay? Looking at life in jail because I did a lot of dirty shit. And I hung out with a lot of grimy guys. And my own friends killed my best friend. Bunch of scumbags. Okay? So this is my video for today. Some of yous aren't going to like it. But in all honesty, I don't give a fuck. Because I stand alone. And this is who I am. With that said, the people who like this video, I hope you share it. Press subscribe. I'll do another video probably tomorrow or later on sometime today. A lot of guys aren't going to like this video. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I got a friend named Chuck, and he don't give a fuck. And I got a friend named Peter. He don't give a fuck either. So that's what it comes down to. When you want to fucking disrespect my name, fuck you. I don't give a fuck about none of you motherfuckers. This way you understand, okay? I hope everyone has a good day. Tomorrow, later on in the day, I'll give another good story. But today, I have to lay it out there and speak the truth. You guys are fucking nobodies. You're making believe you're somebody. And Michael Francesi, as much as a little time I said I didn't like him, I actually like him. You know why I like him? Because you guys don't like him. That's why I like him. With that said, to all my subscribers and my followers, I love you guys. Remember something. We're fucking strong. Strong. Love you. Bye.